Yeah, hello guys, Cloudie here, checking in with the sneak peek for September 2nd update, which was released today by GM Grammary. Now, before we get to that, this is gonna be a little bit of an unordinary episode of our video series. I want to talk a bit about or reflect about the recent happenings, like the bug with Eclipse, the Excel file that was shared by Trillo about all the bugs and issues that he collected. I think it was Trilobyte. And then Twez video, which some of you have asked me to reflect on. So it's quite a handful. Not even really sure what I could show you. Meanwhile, I think not really my face. I don't like my face. Maybe we can just look at the new Hilda during at least she's pretty. And where even to begin? I think I would like to start with Twe. I don't know if he will ever even see this or hear about this, but man, you just really look tired and very burnt out. I would actually suggest that you just take a break from the game. If you are not having fun with it, you shouldn't treat it like a job. Now, this is interesting. I once read an article about MMO games, like not necessarily king_srade, but like these type of games. And supposedly these kind of companies even employ psychologists to find ways to make you hooked and keep logging in every day. I don't know if this is true, or if it's true for Vespa, or if it's now the industry standard, but they are pretty good at making you do these kind of things. Do your dailies, do your weeklies, do your monthlies, do League of Honor, do this, do that. After a while, it can feel like a job and lead to burnout, because at some point you kind of ask yourself, am I even having fun? And yeah, I think Twe is just a bit burned out now, so maybe you should take a break, man, or just log in and casually, don't really sweat it, and yeah, like yeah, just take it easy, man. Don't break yourself over a game, especially if you're not having fun with it. As for king_srade, I believe it's in a kind of transitionary phase right now, which comes with a certain lull. To give you some background, I have played World of Warcraft for 8 years consecutively, and in that 8 years we had several transitions like this. Usually when expansions were coming out, the new content stopped coming in. There wasn't, after a while you kind of reached the end game, the end of the end game, and there is just no more point in keeping to repeat it again and again. There is nothing really to work for, because you know that the next expansion is just gonna change everything anyway. So and we had these phases when our guild stopped raiding, and we were a hardcore raiding guild, and we just went on a break, and everyone either just stopped playing for a while or just took it easy because we were waiting for this big next thing to come. And that worked. Of course, there were always people who took this time to actually quit the game because they had enough of it. I mean, you can't play a game forever, even if it doesn't feel like it at some point, and they can be very addictive. Like, they are really good at that. So yeah, but this happens, that there is a lull, especially in these transitionary phases, and KR is in that phase right now. The devs are obviously focused on, or that's what they say, they are focused on bringing out king_srade 2, which is the same game, just overhauled. They did say that they want to do a lot of stuff, like make the mechanics easier, which may or may not be a good thing, bring in new stories, new characters, and in that time they haven't really given us too much to play. Since like the release of the final chapter and Isaiah, we had no new characters. We didn't have too much new content. And I wouldn't say that like the rehaul of the challenge raid was nothing, that is just redoing the same content. That system probably took quite a lot of effort to develop and make work. I wouldn't just brush it off like it's nothing. Then there is this new raid, Apocalypsion, which also is quite nice. I think the main issue here is that their timing is just terrible, and then they should have either started the development of KR2 sooner, or like at least give us some information or anything. They started this mini hype that they are coming, and then the web page and all, but it's and like the packages in the special shop which suggest some themes from the new game, but there really isn't much to be hyped for. And with the new content, the new stuff not being there anymore, and with not having any hype or anything to really look forward to, people just get bored, and that's kind of scuff. And this is entirely on Vespa. They should have managed their timeline a lot better, and even now we have no information, and not even I can get any information. Not like I'm some sort of special person or anything, but they won't even give information to their C raiders, so we really can't say anything about the new game either. Then that's kind of scuff. I believe they are working on it. I hope they are. But we do not know yet. The fact that it's like the end of September almost and they haven't really started the big time hype kinda makes me wonder. Their original promise was that it will be Q3 or Q4 of this year, and we are entering Q4 now soonish, so Vespo, you better start doing the hype soon, because yeah, people are just getting bored, and then it leads to such frustrations and burnout and quitting, and that's obviously not good for the game. Now beyond that, there were some accusations like Vespa is treating their employees wrong, and that's why the community managers disappeared and PD Sean was replaced and whatnot. So we don't really know what goes inside Vespa as a company. We don't know how those community managers were removed or gone, or they could have quit on their own. Maybe they didn't like working there. Maybe they did but got a better offer. Honestly, we do not know. We can't really say that, oh, Vespa must have treated them wrong. Honestly, we do not know that. It's just, I don't really like to accuse people without really knowing what's going behind the skins there. We have GM Gregory, who has been with us for quite some time now and still keeps going, so I don't know. On the interesting part that we no longer see their employees, that's a curious one. I have asked when I was selected as a C Raider if I could do like a documentary on their offices and stuff, like maybe have a few interviews, show which department is doing what, and Vespa was like, yeah, we would like to do that, but so one thing is that due to the whole pandemic thing, their offices are also not really full. Like they GM Gregory was kind of saying that they are working from home and off location, so to because of the whole virus stuff, so they were kind of saying that it would be hard to do at the time, and I didn't push them any longer on that. So but yeah, that would be kind of cool to see the face behind the company, and this is what I was suggesting to them too, that it would be nice if we could see into the company and put a bit more face onto them. This was before we could even see the face of PDH. We just knew that there was a new PD, but we didn't know yet how he even looked like. The other mention was that PD Sean has been replaced by PDH, who comes from another company, and this must be for money. And I don't know how you feel about this, guys, but I didn't really like what was going on with the game during PD Sean, to be honest. If you remember, there was a lot of flaming back then because of the soul weapons, the bugs issues. Magic has the upper hand. If you remember that quote that's still a meme to this day, and that's what he said. There were good stuff, but I feel that that there was a lot of bad too. So we can't really say that, oh, they must have replaced him to make more money, because we honestly don't know. It could be. I mean, they are a company, they need to make a profit, and they are an openly traded company, which means that they have shareholders, and they need to have and they are responsible for their bottom line. So it could be that if the profits weren't good, they replaced with someone that promised to be able to deliver more because he had more experience in the industry. Whether this is good for the game or not, we do not know yet. I mean, yeah, I guess we will see. But again, we can't really tell. Maybe Peter Sean could have quit on his own, gotten a better offer. Maybe he's still within Vespa, but just works in a different department. I find it unlikely. But again, I wouldn't like to just make conjecture on what may have happened there. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about this part. There was something in Trilo's Excel file about the company just using KR to fund its other project. And that's exactly how companies work. If they have a profit, they use it to try and expand, get more ways to be profitable, because in the end people work for money. And how else would they work? Like, would they take a loan, or would they just work for free? Yeah, if they have a profit in king_raid and can afford to, say, hire a second team and start working on a new game, that's fair enough. That's their deal. I wouldn't necessarily say that this means that they just abandoned KR and now they are just focusing on their new game, which is terrible anyway, and boo-hoo, because it's not really a good strategy to have only one source of income. A game can die off, especially in this industry. A game can just die off. If they say, it could have happened that they moved some resources over to the game, or like had split resources, but just saying that, oh, they just abandoned the game and they are now focusing on their new one, that kind of sounds stupid to me from a business perspective, because they do have revenue, they do have income from king_raid. Just abandoning it wholly and fully to hoping that their new stuff might make more money, that doesn't sound like a smart move to me, and I would like to think that they are not entirely stupid either. Maybe this is just me, but I don't think a company would actually do that. It's like, just, we will just let go of this. It makes us, like, I don't know, a couple $1 million each quarter, but we will just like hope that this new stuff will do better. That would be extremely risky. So it is possible that they move some stuff over to, maybe they needed like more experienced people, designers, coders, whatever, and they move those over to their new projects, or work them on sharing between the different projects. It's possible, but we honestly do not know this. So yeah, this is something I wanted to talk about. And then there is also a lot of bugs that Trilo mentioned, and of course there is the fall bug with Eclipse, where after they moved it to client side, then some people found that they can use this cheat engine stuff and then just hack out of it, and then the whole drama happened out of it. Now, one thing to notice is that Vespa moved this to be a client side interaction, because it often happened that, supposedly mainly due to network issues, you could crash or drop out of your Eclipse. And I remember very angry people when they lost like 3, 4, 5 entries. That's that's a lot of stamina burn and a lot of time, because the game crashed or dropped, and then they just couldn't continue their run. And Vespa tried to provide a fix, tried to do something that we, the players, asked for and wanted, and provided a solution that worked actually. That if you dropped out of your raid, or your Eclipse, then you could continue it, and you could even abuse it like some people do. That if you mess up your run, you can close the app and just start again. And Vespa was fine with that too. And then along came some people who said like, yeah, why don't we just cheat and use this opportunity to just break the game and then do like stupid stuff, like get hundreds of thousands of gold eaters and yeah, and could Vespa has done this better? Probably. I don't know. I'm not an expert on game design and how they could have avoided this or made it better. But you have to see that they kind of tried to do something for us, and then there were some shitheads who really just abused the heck out of it. And I'm sorry, but I'm really disappointed in those people. Like, yeah, I know there are always people like that, but still, for me, the angry part is with these people who just used it to cheat. And then there are also accusations like Vespa has known about it and done nothing. So again, we don't really know when this was reported and how long it took them to apply a fix that actually works and makes it so that it doesn't break the game. We do honestly, again, we don't know. And those of you who never worked in a software company, fixing something isn't like a ton of snap and it's just done. It never works. If you ever go on TechNet where Microsoft stuff is seen, you can see that Microsoft, who is like one of the biggest companies in the world, takes years sometimes to fix issues. Years. Not Thanos snap, like, oh, they have known about this for weeks and it's not fixed. Of course, when there are security issues, then they try to do that earlier on, but it doesn't work like that in the software world. It just doesn't, and you can't just throw more people and more money at it until it's actually fixed. So kind of expecting these kind of stuff, I feel like it's mostly coming from people who never actually worked in that kind of industry and don't really know how that actually works, how much effort it goes into fixing something. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they could have done it in a day and they just were lazy. But I don't feel like that's what they were doing. We don't know when they got aware of this issue, and we don't know how long it took them to develop and apply it. And then of course comes the whole secondary drama from this, where Vespa wanted to give out some compensation and of course messed it up again, and they wrote the wrong numbers, and then some people got super angry that, like, wow, now everyone is gonna have 5 A220s, even the new accounts. And like, no, you're not gonna have 5 A2s in the first place, and you're never gonna have the gold to have 5 more plus 20s unless you cheated again. I mean, if you are a new account, but from experience, that takes a lot of gold to get there. So I wouldn't be so I don't know, upset about this one, that everyone was gonna get a lot of eaters, and because yeah, it takes time, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. We're probably gonna see a change in character improving and advancement anyway, so maybe it will matter a lot less in the future anyway. But for the existing players, it's kind of nice. It helps branching out into stuff that you didn't necessarily have the resources to build, and for newer players, it helps to catch up with all the stuff you need to build. So considering that everyone was gonna get this for free, I didn't really see an issue with it, and I didn't expect everyone to just have 5 more A220s out of the blue right now, because that's just not realistic, let's be honest. So that's what I wanted to add to this part, and then of course Vespa kind of caved and reduced the number, and then was gonna extend the event to be 8 weeks, and then changed it that now it's just 1 week, but they will have different events that also give eaters. So that's so much drama. I think everyone should just chill a bit and like be less serious about it. It's not like blood's gonna flow from this or anything. Yeah. And finally, about all the bugs that were mentioned by Trilo in that Excel. Like, yeah, some of them are really annoying. The arena one has been around for as long as KR existed, I believe, where it depends which side you are on. Then the whole stuff with like TM skills being inconsistent. Some of these just seem like coding errors, like where one variable is not quite as good as the other one. Yeah, one of the things about TM skills is that with a lot of them, we don't really know exactly how they work. There is a certain wording which suggests something, but we don't really know, like with also with the many layers, like which layer does this apply to? How is this like a total percentage or a stat page percentage? Does this stack now or doesn't stack? And I recall that when TM was coming out, people were asking GMs about this, and they got like an answer that you need to find out for yourself, which is stupid. Now there are 2 options. Vespa has a policy to only let you yourself find out, which is kind of bad, or said GMs didn't know the answers and were lazy to look it up. That's also a possibility. But yeah, these seem like coding errors that were done, or inconsistencies that were done during the whole TM rollout and Soul Weapon rollout, and should be easily fixed once they are being reported, in my opinion. So I think Vespa can do this. They should do it. Whether they will, I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. It helps if people report it. And of course, the final thought on this whole thing is that you should play the game if you are having fun with it. It shouldn't really matter to you if others are getting 5 plus or 5 more soul weapons if you are getting it too. As long as everything is fair and you can have fun with the game, just play it. If you feel, pay for it. If you don't feel like it, don't pay for it. Like, it's a perfectly fine strategy if you just set it aside and wait for king.sraid 2, or just keep your resources and don't spend a dime. Don't break yourself over the game. Just have fun with it. And then yeah, if you maybe try something else, play offline games, play a different game. Maybe you get a different experience. You see, if other games are handling monetization better and balance better and bug fixes better, whatever, maybe you can suggest us some new games to try out, and we can just wait out 킹스레이드 2 in the meantime. Alright, so now I've spoken 20 minutes about this, and these were mainly the thoughts I wanted to share with you guys. So if you watched this far, thank you for watching or listening to all my rambling. And then finally, let's get on to this GM note from GM Grammary, which of course starts that the screenshots were taken from the mysterious test server, which we are not quite sure that it actually exists. It's also a running joke that it's like no one ever heard of it. Vespa is notoriously bad at testing, and yeah, like the recent flop with the new raid where it couldn't be completed, and then like don't tell me that this didn't come out during testing if you actually tested this. So yeah, these kind of things they definitely should get better at. But alright, let's see what the new patch is gonna have for us. So Ophelia's workshop event is coming back. Proceed with battles by consuming stamina, including dispatch battles. They are adding dispatch battles now, and obtain event points. Exchange these points for the dark draw card part where you get random rewards, and then you can exchange these rewards for various items. Now, one thing they note here is that the number of event points that you can obtain per day is limited, and there is a maximum number that you can hold. Also, the number of items you can get from this event is also limited, so you can just keep going for soul weapons and whatever. We will see what exactly items, the items should be exactly the same that it was before. But yeah, we got some stuff out of this. Oh, and they say that you can craft legendary materials. So it seems that maybe you will be able to like use lower grade materials to upgrade them into the legendary stuff that you needed for these final pieces, which could be pretty interesting. I'm up for that. Alright, let's move on. Special dungeon. Again, this is a rerun around Halloween, of course. You will get some normal artifacts ticket, Halloween artifact ticket, and you can get the Ophelia workshop item. So this is like coming together. That's good stuff. It would have been nice to see a new event. Like in this case, you can see that they are somehow not really churning out new stuff, so that's kind of bad. But yeah, so 2 new events, the rerun of events, so yeah, that's what it is. Now the League of Honor regular season 15 is gonna be released, or they are just revealing them right now. It will be Evan and Hilda. Now, we have Hilda here, which you could stare at for like 20 minutes while I was talking. I quite like it for the most part. I don't think it's like a white on white. If you check these accents, there is like a bit of purplish in there. This one has a slightly different color. This isn't exactly white, it looks more like beige to me. Maybe I'm colorblind, so it's not just like it's a whole blob of white. They are very light colors, but I quite like it. The one thing I don't like is this part. Like, why can't she have a proper skirt, for heaven's sake? Like, here is a good idea for you, Vespa. Release characters with a full armor, and then sell an extra rubies option where it's like less armory. Alright, I shouldn't give them IDs like that, but seriously, like, why? I remember that the original Hilda costume was like, oh, she doesn't need to wear armor because she has the mana and she doesn't need armor, which was just a pure excuse to loot her. And now we get a really nice, like this looks like armor. She's wearing actual armor there. You can see it on the shoulder plates, like these look like armor, this is armor. And then that like the thighs are one of the most vital points on your body in battle, and they are not covered in any armor because we have to have like, it's not even a panty shot there, it's like maybe a part of her top or something. She's like wearing a one piece. Yeah, League of Honor swimsuits. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, League of Honor swimsuits. So I feel like this could have been much better if they weren't trying to loot her too much. I like the hair and this and I think also maybe it could fix her run animation. That would be kind of nice. All right, Halloween bingo event is coming. The bingo event where you can get unique weapon, unique treasure, awakening stones, unique weapon, treasure ticket 1 star, unique gear ticket 2 star, depending. So this is like one of those events, like the current rolling one. Dragon Raid event, defeat dragons and get rewards. Okay, so this is like the continuation of the current divine punishment raid, and which is also coming with its own event. They say that we will continue to open events to help you challenge the divine punishment raid, complete missions, and obtain technomagic gear related rewards and legendary runes. So yeah, that sounds alright. The new raid is challenging in a way that you have to have a very built team, especially the supports. Like a lot of DPS can clear it, but you need to have a good core support team, and a lot of people are lacking that. Even some of the people that I know and are like now lower level players than my alt heavy, but yeah, yeah, like it's not easy. You need to have a good team for it, even if you don't need Janne. So yeah, guys, I did speak for like 25 minutes right now, more than that, and my voice is dying. I think I'm actually coming down with the flu or something. Yeah, these are my thoughts really. The game is in a tricky position right now. Vespa definitely dropped the ball with the timing of the whole transition to KR2. They either should have delayed it and then kept coming out with newer content sooner. Like if the Divine Punishment raid came out 2-3 months ago, then we would have had stuff to do, and then they should have started ending. They were saying that these apostles will appear more often than that there will be more of them. So yeah, I think it's just that they waited too long. Maybe they weren't ready. So in a sense, they did drop the ball there, and whether whose fault that is, I don't know. Vespa's in general, but if it's that PD Sean, PD Edge, or someone else within the company, that's hard to tell. Take it easy. That's what I can say. Don't be too salty, too obsessed with the game. If you're not having fun, take a break. Play something else, or just play easily. Don't break yourself in. Don't mold super hardcore ways. And yeah, let's hope that 킹스레이드 2 is coming soon, that we are getting a whole lot of new content and new ways to advance our heroes, and we get new heroes to build, and maybe it will be good, maybe not. In the meantime, if you have any other games you want to see or try, then let me know. I'm also curious about them. I every now and then try other games. Just somehow I kept always returning to 킹스레이드. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys for now. This has been Cloudie, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.